could be good for
Hey
me.
guys, what's up? Okay.
Lately
Dysfunctionally
I was
functional life
feeling
with
like
Tank.
I
Yeah.
need a purpose.
So, real quick. I'm on the job, but I'm on a little break. I got a minute. Yeah, it's dark. I don't care about the lighting right now. What I care about is the message. Let's switch gears here. This is going to be just some for real talk, okay? Just some real raw shit. Person to person, for real, just some everyday layman term shit, some relationship shit, or some getting to know somebody shit, or somebody in your life, whatever. Okay, just some down to earth, real talk, y'all. All right. So here's how you can tell. This is just gonna be some everyday bullshit you can tell. I was thinking back to a time, which I'm far more educated on it now, and you can pick some of that up in my other videos. But for the sake of this video, we're just gonna talk some old down to earth, regular old everyday shit that you might see. Okay? Okay. Now, I was thinking back to a few years back. Now, I've mentioned in some of my videos that I am passionate about psychology. I've been studying it, reading it, all that, researching years and years, probably 20 years. And in and out therapy too. Working on codependency issues, working on my childhood issues, working on just reading about shit because I'm fascinated about it, studying it, researching, took some psych courses, all kinds of stuff. But one thing I did not hone in on was narcissism and the true, deeper meanings of it. What all is involved in this shit. And my wig is still blown back, y'all. I am blown away by the people. I was over on another creator's channel tonight listening to a conversation that he and another woman were having about a certain case. And they were just kind of going back and forth, you know, like, wow, that guy really didn't seem like a narcissist. Wow, he wasn't like all me or anything, you know? That's because the motherfucker was a covert narcissist. We've got to get this down, people. We've got to get it around. We've got to get educated on it. Covert, meaning hidden narcissists. They walk among us. They are in our midst, okay? Right in front of your face, sitting right beside you. The covert narcissist wears a fucking mask. They're not gonna be all letting everyone see their narcissism. They're not gonna be all blatantly, me. Get out of my way, I'm coming through. I'm taking what I want. I don't care about any of you. They're not gonna be that way. Okay, and a lot of people also get the grandiose narcissist who does act like that. They get that person mixed up with just a regular old, highly confident, everyday, normal person who is not fucking narcissistic, who is genuine, caring, empathetic to others. But they just have a high level of motherfucking self-confidence. They know what they want. They know what they will not tolerate. They want things a certain way. They're particular. They have a high standard. They have fucking boundaries. And they speak the fuck up. That's not a narcissist, y'all. And a narcissist is not somebody who takes a lot of selfies, who makes a lot of videos, who does a lot of creative shit. It's not a fucking narcissist. It's just not. And I'm sorry, but people need to get really educated on what the fuck narcissism really is in the deepest, darkest, most insidious sense of the word in a psychological context. You know? And quit throwing the damn word around thinking you know what it means. There's so many people. It's just a very limited, basic knowledge. And, you know, they don't know. But a lot of people are getting got. And a lot of people are getting caught up with the narcs. Big time. And I'm one of them. It's been coming in and out of my life for years, okay? So I was thinking back just now to a time, you know, and I mentioned from time to time how I just couldn't quite wrap my mind around certain things. Like, wow, even though I've studied psychology, I've got toxic family. I've been around toxic shit all my life. Toxic patterns. I've had toxic patterns. I had to work through all that stuff. I have a lot of fucking experience with some of this shit. And there was a time in my life where, even just a few years back, where I would notice, I would get around certain people. Let's go hypothetically here. Say you get involved with somebody and, you know, you're getting close to them and it might be a relationship type situation. You're interested in getting to know them. You're getting closer, or even a best friend. You're hanging out more and more, getting close, or a roommate even. And over time, you start noticing shit about them, that they just don't act right, man. There's something up, okay? And over time, you notice they commit all kinds of weird infraction, weird stepping on your boundaries, lying about it, minimizing it, gaslighting you. Oh, that was no big deal. Why are you so upset? You'll just start to notice a bunch of shit, right? Whether they're the grandiose or covert. And after a while, you're really starting to get fucking pissed. You're really starting to, you have been up until this point forthcoming with them, honest with them, open with them, trusting, giving, cool, all the whole deal. And now you're starting to get pissed because they've already stepped on your boundaries by now 100 times because they have none. They've done little things that just doesn't add up, man. They end up, and what it is you're getting to know somebody, and when you're first getting to know them, you notice some qualities about them that are nice, attractive, healthy. They seem deep. They seem okay. They seem secure. They seem whatever, man. They seem like they're cool people to hang out with or get close to. You're interested. You want to know more, so you allow yourself to get closer. Okay, you see those good qualities at first. You see talent. You see creativity. You'll see whatever the fuck they want you to see. That's what you'll see. That's what a narcissist does. They're going to throw it on thick when you're first getting to know them. They are desperate to impress you, desperate to ensnare you. That's right. Desperate to fool you and capture you so they can control you with coercive control, however they have to do it. All right. So that is where a lot of people get kind of confused. Like, wow, I saw all these good qualities and I just knew this person was going to be good for me. They're deep. They loved art. They love music. They like to be creative. They said they work a lot and they're busy and motivated. They said they're super loyal. That's what they do. It's called love bombing if it's of the romantic relationship nature. Now, it could be a friend or a roommate that you're starting to see all this shit on. But when it's romantic, it's called the love bombing phase of a narcissist. They will say and do and play any role they think you want to hear or be with. Okay? That's right. If you love language, these motherfuckers know 6 languages. They're going to be studying 6 languages for a while. They will copy and mimic everything you do to try and ensnare you and capture you and draw you in and make you think that you guys have a chance at compatibility. That, okay. That's exactly what they do. And so after some time goes on, you will notice that slowly but surely they're really not interested in any of that. It's just so, I can't even put words to how shocking it is. Shocking. And they don't let it out all at once. They don't drop the guard or the mask all at once. This happens over time, man. I'm talking sometimes years. A little bit more and a little bit more. But you notice that all those things that they seemed hell-bent on in the beginning, so passionate about, they're just like you. Oh, yes, I love that. And yes, I agree with that. You'll notice that they have no interest whatsoever. None. And not even any knowledge about any of it. First shock. I mean, you will literally just start picking up on all this weird shit. Like, oh my God. We talked about this subject, and I know I study that shit every day. I know I talk about it all the time passionately about how I love it. I want to do it more, and this is my passion. And I can tell, I'm deeply into it, but I'm noticing that you all that stuff you were doing in the beginning, you know, studying language and whatever it was the fuck you thought character you wanted to play so that I would think we would be compatible to impress me and ensnare me. Okay, all of a sudden you're noticing, they ain't about shit. Ain't about shit. Not about a drop of it. None of it. They don't know the first fucking thing about any of it. They could care less. They're actually, they're empty in there. There isn't anything in there. You'll also find out they don't really have any of their own goddamn passions. Maybe a tiny few. Hardly any. Ideas, creativity, imagination, whatever the fuck, passions, hobbies. Now, this is worst case scenario, okay? There's all types of narcissists on all different types of levels on every end of the spectrum, okay? Study up. Do your research. Don't just take it from some creator on YouTube. I'm not a professional, but I've told you what my experience is, and I do know a lot about this shit firsthand. But do your research. Be aware. Learn about this stuff. So anyway, you'll start noticing that shit, man. And this is just for real talk. I'm not filtering myself. We're just having some good old down-to-earth talk right now. Just some old everyday shit that you're going to notice. That is going to shock you. It's going to throw you like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this fucking person? Are they, and it will confuse you. It will perplex. It's so fucking perplexing. You will sit there and wonder. You'll be like, damn, I don't want to say anything to them because I don't want to hurt them, but they just said that and now they're doing this and they said they were into all this, but now they're over here, and it's the most twisted fucking thing you'll ever go through in your life with some of them. It's very severe, very, very severe. Okay. And as time goes on, not only will you notice that nothing they said to you was real, it was all a front. It was all fake. They pretended to be anything you wanted them to be, into anything. If you're looking for deep and intellectual, that's what they're going to pretend to be. If you're looking for whatever you're looking for, whatever they think you are and you sort of want in a partner and would be compatible with, that's what they're going to play. And then you find out, after you've already been ensnared and developed feelings for this person and trusted them and spent time with them, they wait till way on down the line after you've already been through a lot with them and things are going on and you're developing a tighter bond. They wait to let that mask down a little bit more and get a little bit more fucking comfortable. They want to make sure you're not going to escape. You're not going to leave them. And then that mask will start coming down a little bit more, and you'll notice that while you're going to work, they're not like you. You, in your free time, you actually study those hobbies you talked about. You actually go do some of those hobbies you talked about. You actually put time into the passions you talked about, the things you're interested in. This is your life. But you start to notice that they ain't about shit. While you're at work or while you're away or while they have some downtime, they ain't about shit. Not about shit. They're not doing any of those things. You never hear them ever mention those things again. After that first initial time, they might spend a few weeks, a few months, or even a year or two pretending, trying to impress you. Usually not a year. Fuck no, not that long. But they spend quite a bit of time love bombing you and doing the fake number of pretending to be anything you want, interested in all these things, yada, yada, yada. Then, on down the line, a little bit, maybe a few months, like I say, you'll notice they aren't doing anything with their free time. They never mention that stuff. They never crack open a book on that stuff. They're not watching documentaries about that stuff. They're not out doing any of that stuff. It's because they don't give a fuck. They lied to you. They fucking fooled you. They pretended. They fucking played a character. And it is the most shocking, devastating thing you'll ever discover that you have let in your home. Now you've let this fucking person in. You've let them in your home, your heart, your fucking vulnerability, your life. You have let these fucking people in. And that's only the beginning of the fucked up, weird shit you will start to see unfolding. Little by little by little and a little bit more. Until they get so comfortable with you. They want to make sure you're not going to leave. And the minute you give them that reassurance, I promise you. The minute you promise them, you commit to them, you show them that loyalty, it's over for you. It is over for you. They're coming for your ass. That is when the full mask comes off and you get to see the true monster inside. That's right. And it happens in private, behind closed doors, with the person that they have chosen to attach to and target. 24/7, the person that's with them the most, that's who it happens to. Nobody else sees it. Nobody else knows it. They don't act that way in front of anybody else. They don't want people to know they're a narcissist. They don't want their mama, daddy, sister, cousin, brother, best friend down the road, Billy Jack or Bobby Sue or Galinda or whoever the fuck. They don't want any of those people to know. And especially not other members of the opposite sex, because they're going to need to call them soon to use them as well. They need a lot of backup supply. So if they have friends that are members of the opposite sex, like if they're male, all the females that they know, they definitely don't want them to know they're a narcissist. That they mistreat the hell out of women. That they psychologically use and abuse women. That they actually find women to be inferior. That's why they call them up. Hey, can I get a little money? I'm poor me. They milk every crisis in their life for all that it's fucking worth. And the reason that they're calling you women up, all you side chicks and just chick friends out there, the reason they keep... I always know a warning sign when I hear somebody say, I have more friends of the opposite sex than I do same. Like if it's a guy and he says, I have more female friends than male. Sorry. Now, it might not go for every person in the world, but generally that tells me a little something. It tells me to be on guard a little bit, because people like that got issues. I'm sorry, they just do. They have issues and some kind of inferiority about hanging out with males. That's right. And hey, man, let me tell you something. I grew up with 4 fucking brothers. I raised 2 sons. I had a highly overbearing father. And I hung out with nothing but males. Because I was tough. I was down. I was tomboy to a degree. I always had a lot of male friends. I always felt more comfortable with dudes. I was one of those people. So I can tell you, I have some deeper insight into this. I know what's going on in the male mind. Yeah, a lot of the time. Again, 4 brothers, 2 sons. All my friends were dudes for a long number of years. And I'll be the first to tell you, I had issues. It was because of my upbringing. It was because of my traumatic childhood. I did not feel comfortable with women. And it wasn't the woman who did the main abusing to me, but it was the woman who didn't protect me. It was the woman who didn't see, who didn't stand up for me. And in my home, the woman was treated like weak and inferior, and the male dominated. So all of that shit, all those fucking patterns. And growing up, because of what happened with my father, he was the main abuser. That's what's so weird and crazy about it all. I had a lot of therapy though, but I gravitated towards dudes. I literally did, and not just for romantic relationships. I liked to kick it with dudes. I liked their energy. I just felt more comfortable around dudes, and that was that. So that's fine if you have more members of the opposite sex as close friends. But I will say this, when you hear somebody say that, just keep your eye open. Be aware. There's generally something going on with them. There is something that either happened to them in their past, something that they do not feel comfortable. Someone betrayed them, shamed them, abused them, neglected them, something happened. They don't quite feel comfortable and like they fit in with the other members of their gender. They feel a little inferior to them. And I had those issues. I had fucking issues as far as females went. Either I didn't feel like I fit in with them, or I just didn't like their attitude. Mine was a trust thing. I didn't trust them for a lot of reasons. Duh. If you're the first woman in your whole entire life, basically betrayed you in a way, didn't see the abuse that was happening to you and didn't protect you and stand up and fucking show a strong woman image, then you're going to grow up in the back of your mind for a long number of years until you get through a lot of therapy. You're going to grow up not trusting women and not gravitating, clicking and bonding. I didn't have that close, nurturing relationship with my mother. And my therapist told me for a long number of years, due to the patterns that she could see I was doing, she said I was in desperate need of mothering. I went through all that kind of shit. I went through the rescuer thing. I'm going to save you. I'm going to rescue you. All that old shit, all those goddamn patterns, and I'm still working on them to this day. But I'm just letting you know, these are deeper insights that, sometimes just the average person doesn't know. They don't pick up on that shit. It's happening. It's there. So typically, if someone has these fucking motherfuckers running around saying, yeah, I have more friends that are female than male, I automatically, okay? And it's different reasons for different people. Now, there may be some exceptions to the rule out there. That's fine. I'm not talking to you. If this doesn't apply to you, then scratch it and move on. It's okay. I'm not saying every single damn person is like that, but the majority of them, they have some type of issue, and it's all different reasons. Mine was a trust thing. I didn't trust women. I picked up on the messages at home when I was little that women were weak, inferior, not trustworthy, not anything, because the way my father treated my mother, because of the dynamics in my household. Took me a lot of years of therapy to work through this shit. And I did not really feel a strong connection or bond or closeness with hardly any women until I got 30 or after. Age 30 or after. Really that long. My sister was the only woman that I ever really felt, that's my homegirl. We're close. I trust her with my life. I like her energy. That was it. Now, after around 30 and after, I started to really kick down on my therapy, my spirituality, open up more. I made some girlfriends for the first time in many, many years, probably since my teens. I allowed myself to get close to a woman and really start learning about connecting with women. I knew that I needed women in my life. I needed that connection, that bonding, that love and comfort and nurturing and friendship and understanding that only a woman can give. And I had been looking for it in men, and I had been, enjoying the camaraderie of men, and I had kind of just been on that weird level. Sometimes it was romantic, and sometimes it was just, what's up, bruh? Yeah. I felt that way for many years. So my evolution has taken a lot of work, a lot of insight, a lot of trial and error, a lot of mistakes, all that shit. And so I finally got to the point, and hell, this was 15 years ago, getting close to 30, where yes, I started building my bonds with women, more healing in my heart, trusting women more. I finally realized that, hey man, I love men. I love dudes, boys. I raised 2 sons. I love them. But it is not healthy the way I was doing. You can't do that. It just wasn't healthy for me. I was attracting a lot of unhealthy men, users, abusers, toxic, narcissists, addicts. They were eating me the fuck up. I was literally getting eaten up. So I finally realized, look, I've got to do something different. I'm not whole enough. I'm not healing enough. I'm not able to become the best version of me being this limited. Only I knew there was more healing that needed to go on in me, so that's when I got around to it, okay? It has to be done. You need to recognize this shit in yourself. Stop limiting yourself, man. Stop living in those fucking emotional patterns from your childhood. You've got to self-examine. Anyway, so that's what happened with me. So I was that person. That's how I know so much of this shit, because I did it. I've already done it. I can see your shit because I've already done it. So anyway, yeah, when a dude says to me, now mine was trust issues, but some people's might be, they feel insecure. You know, and maybe I did feel insecure around certain types of women. But for me, the most part, it was trust. I didn't trust them. I didn't like their energy. I thought they were weak, inferior, because of what I saw with my mother and father. You know, there was not an empowered woman at my house. She wasn't that kind of woman. I had to get that in later years from a therapist. I credit her for that mothering and teaching. Now, I love my mother. We're great friends. We have a lot in common, and she gave me a lot of things in childhood that I'm very grateful for. So you will hear me mention the good things too. I'm not bashing her. We've worked on our shit. We've worked on our healing. We've hashed it out for years. But truth is truth, and it is what it is. As far as empowerment and protection and all those things that she should have done, she didn't, because she was scared and she was powerless in the situation. So that's that. But yeah, now some people I hear say, you know, especially with dudes, when I hear them say, I've got more female friends, then there's something going on. There's always something going on. You can just about bank on it. Maybe a rare exception that's just truly no reason at all, just friends with, you know, mostly the opposite sex. A lot of times with dudes, I find out it's insecurity. Really bad insecurity. Inferiority complexes. Yeah. They don't feel up to par with other men. They feel inferior and not quite, you know, and a lot of them are very narcissistic, and they are looking to prey on women. That is why they have so many members of the opposite sex. Now, I left all that behind 15 years ago. I now have far more female friends than male. Right. I grew. I saw my patterns. I realized that I could not be the most well-balanced, whole, and healthy person, best version of myself, and heal more. I knew that I could not do that remaining as I was. I'm only friends with mostly dudes. I don't trust chicks. I don't like y'all. Couldn't do it. So I left that shit behind 15 years ago. Now, I know a lot of people who are still stuck in that middle age. And they still prefer to be around mostly the opposite sex instead of other men. You know, like, say for instance, they're going through some relationship problems. Instead of calling up a dude friend who's married, who's doing well in his marriage, and say, hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, I want to talk to you, man. You know, I'm having some trouble with my girl. What's your secret? You know, what can I do better, yo? Doesn't that make logical sense? No. Instead, these fuckers will call up a chick. Hey, poor me. I got my girls up my ass and I'm in the doghouse. Yeah, she's just a bitch. Can I come over and hang out? Yeah, I really like you. Right, they'll pull that fucking dumb shit. These are narcissistic people. They keep members of the opposite sex only as friends so that they can prey on them like a predator, so that they can use them and extort from them whatever they need and whatever they want, emotional support, ego boosting. They are not interested in learning. They're not interested in healing. They're not interested in growing up. They're not interested in having a successful relationship. They're not interested in putting the work in. So, when I hear shit like that, alarm bells go off. I'm immediately on guard. I've just about let my time run out before I've gotten to a few of the other points about these hidden narcissists, okay? But I really want to get this stuff out there because I feel like it is my responsibility now, after what I had to live through and how maddening it was and the mental trap of it all. I feel like it is my responsibility to share some of this stuff to help make other people aware. So I'm going to come back in a part 2. Please join me. I'm going to finish this up and I will give you the other few down to earth, everyday secrets, tricks, things you will see a covert narcissist do. Okay?